The UK and India have just signed a free trade agreement in May 2025 after 3 years of negotiations, which is set to boost bilateral trade massively. But what does that mean for students like us? And especially for those of us looking to study Masters in Finance in the UK. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're someone who has been exploring Masters in Finance programs, especially in the UK, then today's video is going to be a game changer for you. So what's the India-UK FTA all about? Well, it's a landmark economic deal that eliminates tariffs on 99% of Indian tariff lines and reduces tariffs on 90% of the UK tariff lines. The goal? Doubling trade between the two countries from $90 billion to $100 billion by 2030 and boosting the UK economy by over £4.8 billion annually by 2040. Sectors like textiles, IT services, engineering, goods, auto parts, and financial services stand to benefit massively. But you know what? It's more than just a trade deal. This deal includes provisions for professional mobility, digital services, and even social security contributions. Now, how does this benefit Indian students who are looking for a Masters in Finance in the UK? Well, this FTA goes beyond economics. It sets the stage for easier movement of professionals between India and the UK. So if you're planning for a Masters in Finance, the timing couldn't be much better. And here's why. Finance, along with IT and professional services, is one of the key sectors the FTA focuses on. This means more demand for professionals trained in both Indian and the UK financial systems, especially in roles like trade finance, compliance, and cross-border advisory. And that's why graduating with a MI from the UK gives you a competitive edge now more than ever. As financial cooperation between the two nations strengthens, so does the value of professionals who understand both the sides. Next question which comes to mind is, are tuition fees going to change because of the FTA? The short answer is no. This is because tuition fees haven't been revised due to the FTA. Universities still set their own fees and international students, regardless of their nationality, fall under the same category. However, this deal could pave the way for expanded scholarship opportunities and bilateral education collaborations. To give you an example, we might see Indian public and private institutions partnering with UK schools to offer funded dual degree programs or exchange opportunities. Moreover, as UK-India trade increases, you could also see more Indian corporates offering sponsorships or education loans for UK-bound students in strategic sectors like finance. But what about visa policy and professional mobility? Now, this is a big one. The FTA includes an ambitious commitment to professional mobility. Indian professionals, especially in finance, IT, engineering, and architecture, will now find it easier to work and move between the two countries. And here's the most relevant part: a new Double Contribution Convention or DCC. If you're an Indian student or a young professional in the UK, you'll now be exempt from paying UK national insurance contributions for up to 3 years. That's a major cost saving, especially if you're on a graduate use visa post-study. This change also means your employer in the UK doesn't need to contribute either, which makes you a more attractive hire. There's no direct change to student visa rules yet, but this friendly policy environment could lead to further improvements in the future. Now, what about job market prospects post-MIF in the UK? Well, with this FTA, finance-related job roles are expected to grow in the future, especially those tied to bilateral trade, investments, and corporate expansion. UK financial institutions looking to expand in India will need professionals who understand Indian financial laws, markets, and consumer behavior. As a matter of fact, Indian banks or fintech setting up UK branches will also seek talent who studied and trade in the UK. So in short, your UK-India context becomes a bit more stronger. Think of roles in trade finance, international banking, cross-border compliance, consulting, fintech partnerships, and even policy advisory. And let's not forget, UK services sectors like legal and financial advisory are also going to gain more certainty in the Indian market. This could possibly open doors for students pursuing dual career paths across both the nations. Now, what should you do as an aspiring finance student? If you're someone planning to study finance in the UK, here's how to make the most of this evolving landscape. First, pick a program with global finance exposure. Look for electives in international trade, cross-border finance, or emerging markets, because these topics are going to be hot. Second, build India-UK knowledge. Read upon trade policy, financial regulations in both the countries, and how businesses expand globally, because this will come in handy in your interviews. And third, leverage the visa time. Use your 2-year graduate route visa wisely. Intern in firms handling India-UK portfolios, or target those with exposure to both the markets. And lastly, network with purpose. Attend alumni events, career fairs, and webinars that discuss Indo-UK business relations, because your background could stand out. So to sum everything all up, the India-UK FTA isn't just a trade deal, it's a massive opportunity for Indian students planning for a career in the UK. With more jobs, smoother professional movement, and greater economic cooperation on the horizon, this is the perfect time to take that leap. Well, if you have been on the fence about applying to a UKMI program, this might be your sign. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. We would love to help you navigate your finance journey abroad. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who is planning to study their Masters in Finance abroad.